guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamini, but you can call me Semi D. Yes, you can call me Semi D anytime. Call me Semi D. All right. I'm so excited to be back with another sit down video. To my returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching, for sharing, and for liking, for commenting, and for engaging with the content that I give you guys. And to those who haven't subscribed, I mean, what are you waiting for? Like, don't you think you're missing out? All right. While you're there, to those who have subscribed and have not clicked on the notification bell, please do so that you are informed every time we are about to upload something. Okay, so today I just wanted to do something that might just go left. So this is like a warning to say whatever that I'm about to do now might just go left. When I say go left, I mean I might just shed a tear or so. I've actually recorded this, but because there's just too many tears, I decided not to share it. So I'm just doing a disclaimer so that you guys know that it might just go left, but I just hope and I pray that it doesn't. Okay, so let's get into today's video. Right, guys. Man, in fact, what I'm about to tell you is not what will get me to cry actually, but it's the other parts that is part of the story that may get me to there. But I'm gonna try and not be emotional, or if I end up crying, of course I'm not gonna upload. But if maybe it's just a what do they call, maybe only a vibrating voice, then yes, I will share this content or this story. So the issue is okay, the story is mainly about the state of mind that I am currently in, all right, and what led me to be where I am currently. And so I started a journey on the 28th of June. I started a journey where I decided that I wanted to go back to exercising. I wanted to go back to eating healthy and not eating sugary stuff and all these other stuff that I've been consuming. So while I was there, then I joined, I think 2-3 days later, I joined a challenge that was done by Stephanie Ndlovu from the Ndlovus. So I joined that challenge, and I think for me, what that challenge did for me and the decision that I took actually is something that when I think about it now, I'm like, wow. Okay, I'm like, wow. Because, okay, I'm just gonna narrate a story of where I was before that. So 2 weeks before that, I was a mess. I was a mess. I was a mess because I just did not want to do anything. I was a mess because I was just tired. I was heavy. I felt ugly. It was just a lot. And prior to that, I think what led me to that is the fact that I had not been exercising. I had not been eating healthy, and I had not been be mindful of the state of my mind in terms of taking care of myself and my mind in order for me to be in this space. So for those who know, they would know that in January I lost my mother. That's where now the issue is. But I'm gonna try and control myself. And I think I need to tell the story because it's the background of where I then got myself into. As a result of that, I then went into some state that I myself did not want to be in. But again, this is life. We sometimes get into things, and we sometimes experience things that will just throw us off completely. So in January I lost my mother, and so the call that she is no longer came through to me. All right. I remember that day that I was praying actually. That time, in fact, I was praying with a friend. Would pray around 12 a.m. and I did not even say amen. And I remember specifically that day we were praying for her because she was rushed into the hospital that morning, which was a Thursday morning. So that was like Thursday evening to Friday morning. So now the call came through to me. So now I had a responsibility to tell everyone now that our mother is no more. While I was there, how do you then tell people that your mom is no more when you yourself cannot believe that she is no more? All right. So the person that I was with in the house was my niece. And then, so because when the lady told me, when the nurse told me, I cried. And when I was crying, I remember asking her what happened, why, I asked her all these questions, and I think maybe she heard me, and then she walked in through where I was. And then because I started crying myself, I think crying, and she just kept on saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And it was just like, what just happened? What just happened? Part of me did not believe it. Part of me was like, okay, what's happening? So now I had now I had to tell. Okay, I told her. She started crying. I had to go tell my brothers, balala my outside bedrooms rooms up, and then I had to go and tell them. I remember knocking at my brother's door, and he did not open for for a while, because I actually cried outside their rooms so much that the other brother of mine woke up, and then he was like, what's up? And I was like, umaga sekoma eh, and it was just it was raining. I remember it was raining that day, and it started raining even more harder. And then after that, I went inside the house. I had to now gain strength to call all my other sisters. My other sister had just lost her husband a day ago, so I was like, how do I tell her that her mom is no more again? And then I started calling the one in Ladysmith. I called my sister. Okay, well, actually, I called my brother-in-law, and then, well, yeah, I guess he delivered the news. Now, how do I tell these ones? Because remember, when my mother passed, we had actually gone to my sister's house to help her prepare and her stuff, and then the plan was we're gonna go back home on Friday. But we had to wake up in the morning and drive back to Escort because we were told that my mother has been rushed to hospital. So we got there, and we did not even have had an opportunity to actually see her because she was already inside. And remember, it was during COVID time, so we could not get inside the actual hospital. So we waited outside with the hope that she was fine, only that she wasn't. Maybe also Naye. We feel a lot because my sister-in-law is the one that actually went with her inside, and when she came out, she was like, no, she's fine. She was able to even talk, because when they left home, she couldn't even talk, so she was able to talk. She was just asking, where are we, and stuff like that. And I actually was supposed to the following day to charge her phone. I remember that I was supposed to wake up and go deliver her goods. Security that works in the hospital, because of course we are not allowed to get in. So yeah, that never happened. Anyway, so I then called the other sister of mine, Uhlengi, whom we left because we had to travel back home. I then said to her, and you understand the like delivering such news, having to repeat, because it meant that I needed to tell everyone who's a sibling, including my sister-in-law, ongahlali nathi ekhaya. So I had to call everyone to just say, umaga sekho. All right. And then after that, of course, we had to wake up the following day, go to the hospital. It was me and my brother. We had to go to the hospital and collect her stuff, do everything, go to mortuary, register. There's a form that Home Affairs for us to do a death certificate. So we had to do all of that. Once again, I bottled everything in. I remember that day I got sick, because I just vomited. I remember we were standing by the mortuary and then waiting for that lady to help us, and then I remember I would just throw up, and that's what I did. I went by our car, and then because it was just too much, I could not. And then after that, we had to go to a home affairs. Home affairs office court was closed, so we had to go to Ladysmith because we needed the death certificate. So we went there. I was so tired. Got there, had to do groceries. So you just understand that it was too much. And then people would come home, and then the person that they would get, of course, there was my sister-in-laws, and then my sisters, Uzandile and myself. But then still, when people know that it's your mom, they would keep on saying, yes, but man, and had to pull that, thing out. Okay, we had to prepare for her funeral. And I remember I was one of the people like everywhere, and that's what I did. I just did everything until the day of her funeral. And that day, my sisters decided, well, my siblings decided that I needed to speak, because I was able to talk 2 years back. So it was like, okay, and then I had to then hold it again so that I'm able to talk, and so that abantu was ungizwa, and it was just a lot. Looking at it right now, I think it was a lot. Then it didn't feel as if it was a lot. And then I remember that day, later on, when everyone had gone, my home felt like a very strange place. It felt like I didn't know and so I made a decision that I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna go back to work. So my mother was buried. It was during the week on Wednesday, and the following Tuesday I was at work, because I was like, I needed to do something so that it keeps my head and my mind off this particular issue. So I went about the business. Remember, I also had a lot of work because in December, I did not work from the 4th of December because I had COVID. So because I had COVID, I had to stay home and do not work until, well, I would work, but it was not as productive as I would love to be, because of course I was not feeling okay. And then so I had a lot of work. So I just immersed myself in my work, and I did all the work, and I just worked and I worked. But then during the time when I was working and just continuing with life, I consumed a lot of sugary stuff. I remember sometimes I would just come back from work and I feel like I'm I'm down, and I feel like I should just scream and cry. Pass by and buy the shop, get myself some cake. And of course I would not get just one slice, I would get the full cake, the whole cake. And because of that, then I would eat it in consecutive days until lipele, because I can't just waste the money that I just used to buy that cake. So it was just too much. So of course, because of that, I gained weight. Because of that, I gained weight. Yes, I had already gained weight from the previous year, how lockdown was, but I continued to gain weight and to just feeling like it was going down. I remember one particular day, I woke up so tired that I then decided, okay, let me just drink coffee to give me some kickstart. And then after I've drank coffee, and maybe I'm gonna be able to work. You know what? That day I never worked. I made that coffee, sat down, and then because I needed a lift, I'll drink coffee, and then that coffee would have a lot of sugar itself. For those who know me prior to that, I'm actually someone who I don't take a lot of sugar. I don't, because my tongue does not even, so it was just like, so I sat on the couch, and that was it. The next time I stood up from that couch, I went to bed and I slept. And I realized there that, you know what, I'm not okay. But now, how do you then get yourself out of that situation? How do you get yourself out of a situation where you're feeling, I'm not okay, what should I do? Yes, people recommended that I seek grief counseling and everything else. And I thought I was coping. I really did think I was coping. And so I just went it just went down. And in June, I also received some bad news, of which I'm not gonna share. And you know, one thing is that yes, my mom was old. Yes, we would not talk about a lot of things, but I remember that whenever I would not feel okay, the first person that I call would be my mom. So now I remember this time around, my mom is no longer. Who do I call when I feel like this, when I feel so awful, when I feel like, you know what, man, what's happening? I could not even call my mother because she's no more. I keep on dreaming about her. I think I keep on thinking about her. I keep on, and I just got to a space where I completely was, I could feel it with if, and I could just tell with if if I don't get sick now, I don't think I'll ever be sick. And then because of that, I then realized, you know what, I needed to change. And it was something that I saw for a very long time, that I needed change. I needed to take care or control of the situation, but I could not. And I was someone, me now, I would take chocolate, but every time when I went to the shop, I would come back with, like, maybe not a slab, but like a chocolate, some sort of sweet, some sort of, and then I would come back and then I would eat that. I would eat everything. I mean, I'm very choosy and particular in what I consume, but even Coke. Imagine, Mina, I don't even, well, before that, I would not even take any fizzy drink, for me to just jump from there to just straight Coke. I remember a day after the funeral, we sat, it was two of my cousins and myself, so 2 liters of Coke, and we just did not care. And I didn't care, while I'm one person that I know, Wuti, I'm always mindful of what I consume. But that time, I just didn't care. I was like, you know what? And then, yeah, that's when I decided it's okay. As much as then I made the appointment with the psychologist, though I have not started going there. I am going to go there. But also it was a matter of, okay, besides the fact that you need to go to talk to someone, what is one thing that actually gives you this good feeling? And because I've been someone who exercises and who eats well, I know that withdrawing or sugar from my diet would really help me. And that's what I did. I started with having I'm a smoothies, and I started removing certain foods in my diet, so that, and you would not believe, you'd not believe the state of mind that I'm currently in. I even feel like maybe I don't even need to go to counseling, because I feel so much better. Because I started exercising, I started making sure that I look and I check the food that I have. And it actually reminded me of one video where Ompumi was talking about the relationship that we have with food. And I realized that food can be a source of your unhappiness. For me, food became a source of unhappiness. I consumed a lot of bad stuff, and that bad stuff, instead of correcting the feeling that I had, yes, it would give me that, kick at that time when I'm consuming it. But later on in the evening when I'm sleeping, I would cry. So the reason why I'm telling you guys all of this, or the first part of the story, is that at times we do not realize the impact that food has on our bodies and our minds, especially our minds, and what it does. Because like I'm saying, Wuti, I felt awful. I felt very heavy. I felt like I needed something, like, I don't know, but I needed some pick up every time. I needed to have some pick up. And for me, besides the fact that I had lost my mother, but I think what I then did as a result of that led me to be where I was in June. And I could see, it felt like, even at work, a simple task felt like it was a brick here. It felt like It was so heavy. A simple task, something that I would do within an hour. I felt like, why am I supposed to do this? You know. And so I just wanted to say, we really need to be careful in how we look at food, and the relationship that we should have with food. We really need to look at it and say, do I want to go down this way, or I want to make a better decision? And I think for me, I should have made a better decision, but at that time, it felt as if that was the best thing I could do for myself, with the feelings that I had, with that mind of missing someone that you know you will never see, you won't be able to speak to, you know. So it really helped me, shame, I must say, Guti, you know, this 21 day, you know, I remember the other day I was walking by our shopping complex, and I felt so light. It's something that I've not felt in a very long while. And I wasn't even doing like maybe like intense training. The exercises that we were given by Stephanie, but they made a difference. So my plea to us in this video is that let us carefully check. At times, I know there are mental health issues, but sometimes let us look at the way at the food that we eat. Yes, maybe we are in a state, but what is the cause of that state? Are we in that state because we are okay? We're not okay, or is it because of what we are consuming? Because I realized, Guti, it is what I was consuming that actually made me to be in that state. It is because of my lack of exercise that actually made me to be heavy, and that made me to feel like I am not even pretty, that made me feel like I'm just awful. Because yes, I was heavy. Yes, maybe I have not even lost a lot of weight as we speak. Yes, I did lose a couple of centimeters because I did take the centimeters. I don't have a scale, so I took centimeters for me to be able to check what did I, after 21 days, was there progress? And of course, there was progress. But above that, it is the feeling that it has given me. A feeling that I have not had in a very long time. Maybe I had that feeling 13th January, which was 2 days before my mother's death, because I was with her. We were laughing. It was nice. She was okay. Well, she wasn't fine for a long time, but like what happened to her, I had not expected it at the time when it happened. Yes, last year sometime I expected to, yeah, but this time, and I think that is why it hit me so hard, because I was like, and then why? Why now? But we always ask those questions with date, we'll never understand. But I'm just saying, let us check what we consume. And not only what we consume, even what we listen to, even what we who we talk to, because some people will not even understand the feeling that you are feeling at that particular time, and they're just thinking, you're being too much. Someone did say that, let it not consume you. And I'm like, as much as I understand what you're saying, but do you understand that I've known this person for the past 30 years? 30 something years? Do you understand that? And all of a sudden, you just wake up, you are told she's normal. You know, she was my pillar, because she was like my father as well. So like, it really is a point where people need to understand. But I always think, okay, I forgive people, because I myself maybe wouldn't have understood had it not happened to me. But that's not where I am. I think where I am mainly is on the food that we consume, and the feeling that the food sometimes, it's a contributing factor, especially sugar. Let us be careful of sugar. Not only does it, I think, give us other diseases, but it also plays with how we think, with the mental state that you're supposed to be in. It just plays dead with you. So basically that's what I wanted to say, to talk about the challenge. But for me, I needed to tell the other story because that is the main reason why I then started this challenge. I've never been to any challenge, well, joined any challenge, Instagram or social media. I've seen them, but I've always been someone who was active either at the gym or who would eat well. So I never really thought that I would do this, but I did it because I wanted to make sure that I stay in the course. And if I am committed to a challenge, then I will be able, and then after 21 days, of course, a habit has been created. So I wanted to create that habit, the habit of wanting to do or to exercise, because over the months I've been saying I need it, I need, gangthanda, my heart wanted, or my mind wanted, but my body could not allow me. Because part of my mind and part of my body being a bezingahlangani. Enye bithi go to the left, enye ithi go to the right. Enye ithi no, it's fine, you can have your cake. Enye ithi but cake will lead you to gain weight. So let us really check what we eat, what we consume, and let us make sure that it does not contribute badly to our mental state, because I think that's where the issue is. I think umzimba would always adapt to what you want to give it. And when you want to to deprive it of that, you can. But the mental state, I saw mina the contributing effect of sugar and sugary stuff gumina. Now I'm in a better space. The mood has improved. Yes, I still miss my mother. Yes, I still cry about it. But I think I'm at a better space than I was in June. In June, ngizibonile ukuthi yazini, cut. Yes, I'm Christian. For those that don't know, yes, I'm Christian. I have hope that one day she will wake up from the dead and we shall meet. Yes, I have that hope. But for now, she's sleeping, waiting for that day, and I want her to be alive now. All right. So yeah, no. So some situations really are yeah, no. Let me just maybe not just go on and on and on, because I can go on and on and on. But I just wanted to say, really we need to check with the food that we eat. And also, maybe even if you're not going to do maybe like a heavy exercises, start doing something, start walking, start clearing your mind. Exercise and clears your mind so much. I realized that it's something that I knew, but I just realized, wow, okay, my mind is clear, my heart is heavy, but when you level at a different level than it was at that time. Yeah, that basically is it. So we've come to the end of our video. Please comment down below, and also maybe comment on how, if you have maybe felt this very feeling, how you have dealt with it. Maybe we can share like ideas on how we have dealt with situations that we found ourselves in as a result of grief or loss, because grief and loss is an issue, I've just realized. All right, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Probably this will be my last video. I am going to take a break a bit, and I'm gonna come back, and hopefully when I come back I'm going to continue with my cooking episodes. All right, I love you guys all. Until next time, bye, peace.